If you clicked on this video, it means you want to learn about Season 3, Part 2 so badly. Don't worry, I got you. I did videos on leaks and spoilers focusing on Part 2 in general. Still, I wanted to do a specific video on Episode 5 because, in those previous videos, I skipped over some scenes to give you a general idea about what would happen. Now it's time to do a deep dive on Episode 5. I will go over every scene and show you all the pictures from the first episode of Part 2. Buckle up. If you're wondering how Netflix screwed up and leaked this much info and footage from Part 2, I don't know exactly either. I heard that a YouTube reviewer who was sent the first 6 episodes accidentally put the reviews of episodes 5 and 6 as well, thinking they were part of Part 1. But many people had already watched it before that video was taken down. That's how we know. Anyway, let's get into it. Of course, Episode 5 starts right where it left off, with Colin asking for Penelope's hand in marriage. Did we really think Pin would say no to Colin? Of course, she says yes, and they rush into the Bridgerton house to announce the news. Colin is engaged to Penelope Featherington, as can be seen from the teaser for Part 2 as well. Hyacinth is especially thrilled about this piece of news, and the whole family is quite surprised. Eloise is the most shocked, and there are many reasons for that. First of all, she thinks that Penelope might have been friends with her only to get to Colin. Also, she thinks Pin should have told Colin about Lady Whistledown before making such a big decision as getting married. There's a scene where Eloise and Pin have this conversation. Eloise tells Pin to tell her brother because Colin cannot properly love Pin if he doesn't know the real Penelope. Penelope asks for some time to tell Colin, and Eloise agrees. But that doesn't mean Pin is giving up on the LW business. On the contrary, she rushes home in excitement as she cannot wait to write about her engagement to Colin. A few members of the Bridgerton family were not there during Colin and Pin's announcement. Benedict, for one, spends the night at Lady Tilly's. They both learn about the engagement in the morning via Lady Whistledown. Pin was quick to release that. Anthony and Kate learn it when they arrive at the Bridgerton house, returning from their honeymoon. They have a big piece of news too. Kate is pregnant, but they don't want to share it yet, not to steal Colin's spotlight. Being the family's big brother, Anthony is concerned about Colin, thinking that this decision to get married might have been made quickly. He and Benedict take Colin out to get drinks and talk about this issue. There, Colin reassures his brothers, however, saying that even though he's aware of the suddenness of the marriage news, he knows that he loves Penelope. All these years he's known her and had these feelings for her, but he was just able to identify those feelings. In the Featherington household, Portia is a jerk towards Penelope. She's angry at Pin for letting go of Lord Debling. She even believes that Pin bagged Colin by trapping him somehow. She's being very unkind. Right then, Colin comes in for the rescue and defends Penelope against Portia, saying he's marrying her because he loves her. According to Colin, Pin is amazing, and Portia cannot see that, but he can. This scene is going to be one of my favorites, I can already tell. After that save, Colin takes Pin to their new house, where they will live once they get married. Pin is overwhelmed and happy, not only because of seeing the new house, but also because of what Colin did for her, defending her against Portia when no one would. At the height of this emotional moment, Colin and Pin start to undress and go at it fully. Yes, they go all the way here. There's a little leaked moment where Colin undresses Penelope, and there's also this picture with both of them naked and kissing. According to Luke, this scene took 3 days to shoot. Some people also say that the famous mirror scene will take place here, but we don't know 100%. While this happens, Kate and Eloise have a heart-to-heart at the Bridgerton house. Kate notices that Eloise is not as happy about the engagement as everyone else and decides to talk to her. This is where Eloise reveals that she's been starting to feel lonely after seeing everyone around her has been paired off. She also feels weird for not knowing anything about her best friend's feelings for all those years. Here, Kate gives her some motherly advice, but we don't know the details of what she says. On their way back from their new house, Colin and Pin receive a pamphlet announcing the Queen's plan to learn about Lady Whistledown's identity. It turns out the Queen has set a bounty of £5,000 on Lady Whistledown, and whoever brings legitimate evidence will get the money. Colin is quite happy about the news because he thinks LW will get what she deserves. Of course, Pin is not so pleased about it. You can imagine why. When Colin returns home, he and Eloise have a conversation. Eloise says she's heard about her brother's decision to marry Pin. Knowing that they are not on good terms, Colin is sorry but also says that he loves her, so there's nothing he can do. He asks for Eloise's blessing but doesn't really wait for an answer. He then tells Eloise about the Queen's bounty. In the Featherington household, the girls have a conversation about how it will be easy for the Queen to unmask Lady Whistledown now, but Pin thinks LW is too smart to let herself be known so quickly. The subject changes, and the girls kind of bully Pin, demanding to know how the hell she caught Colin. The unexpected happens, and Portia defends Penelope for the first time. You would think she realized her daughter's worth after Colin's speech, but no, she just realized that her daughter will be marrying into the Bridgerton family, which will be prestigious, to say the least. Pin exposes Portia for her true feelings, and then goes to her room to write another pamphlet. Next in the story is a big Bridgerton ball where major stuff happens. First, Cressida tells Eloise that her father has engaged her to an old man who wants children, but Eloise is not being a good friend here as she's focused on Penelope and Colin. Cressida feels isolated. Meanwhile, Eloise asks Penelope why she hasn't told Colin about LW yet, and gives her time until midnight to tell him, or else she will. At the ball, Benedict shows up with Lady Tilly, and Violet has apparently invited Marcus, even though Lady Danbury is not too happy about it. Francesca, on the other hand, introduces John to Anthony. After they depart, the family, mainly Anthony and Violet, are not too happy about this couple, thinking that they're too similar to each other. They fear that since both of them are introverts, they will never feel the need to get out of their shells. In the end, though, they decide not to interfere. In other news, Anthony and Kate tell Violet about their pregnancy. Colin then gives a big speech about his engagement to Pin. Eloise, too, gives a speech, but it's heavily coded, and it is about Pin needing to tell Colin about her secret. After the speeches, people at the party play a game of charades. Cressida tries to confide in Eloise again and says that she plans to unmask LW. Eloise is dismissive and says that even she couldn't unmask LW. How could Cressida do it? Meanwhile, Pin is getting increasingly nervous because the clock is ticking. Her time is about to be up. She has a moment alone, and when she comes back into the room, she's about to tell Colin everything. But before she can do so, Cressida tells everyone that she herself is Lady Whistledown. I know, crazy. Apparently, she has been talking to the people at the party who have all been saying that no one would marry Lady Whistledown if she unmasked herself. Of course, this is precisely what Cressida wants, so that's why she does it. Upon hearing this, Penelope faints in front of everyone, and that's where the episode ends. If you want me to make a detailed video about episode 6 as well, let me know in the comments. You can see the other leaks and spoilers in these videos. I'll put them in the description box. Tell me your thoughts about this episode. Is everything to your liking? Don't forget to subscribe for more. See you soon, guys.